it's a little louder than you. Good morning.
Okay, well, hello and welcome to Unity of Chattanooga.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, see, that's good. So
Check, check. 1, 2. find your seats and make sure your cell phones are on airplane mode or turned off or in the car or something. And we'll be starting our service very shortly.
Good morning, everybody. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Higher place. Higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Higher place. Higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Higher place. Higher place. I feel my soul lifted to a higher place. Let's go higher, y'all. All right. Let's sing together. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is right here and right now. So I invite you now to take a deep infilling breath. Feel that energy flowing down through your head, your neck, down across your shoulders, down through your body, down through your legs, through your feet, down deep into the earth, where that energy is cleansed and revitalized from Mother Earth that supports all the life on this planet. That energy flows back up through you, bringing you vitality, energy, healing, flowing back out to the top of your head. God is here. And as you think of that presence and that power, simply know that you are guided, you are loved, you are healed in everything that you choose to do. And so this very moment, right here and right now, in the midst of that presence, we say simply, thank you, God. And so it is.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Boy, I love that song.
Me too.
Yeah. Just gives me all kind of warm fuzzies all the way through. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And welcome to Unity of Chattanooga's Saturday celebration service. My name is Reverend Doug Worth, and I'm serving as your platform assistant this morning. And I'm joined by the Right Reverend Landis Batts.
Yeah, I like that.
Welcome, Landis, our music maestro.
Oh, y'all wonderful.
And this morning we have a very special guest speaker, our very own Kelly Thompson. Kelly? A little bit more about Kelly in a few minutes. And as I look at the camera facing in front of me, if you are live streaming with us this morning on Facebook, we welcome you as well. Please let us know that you're here by sharing a few words in the comment section. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because what that does is it keys all those algorithms out there that puts us up at the top of the list. And feel free to share this service with a friend that you feel would appreciate our uplifting spiritual message. Well, the big question this morning, is there anyone here for the very first time? Anyone here? Great, great. Thank you so much for coming. We want you to know that you are welcome, you are accepted, and you are celebrated here.
Yeah.
And again, if you keep your hand raised, our ushers will give you a packet, tells you a little bit about Unity of Chattanooga, and a little bit about the New Thought movement in general. And we have a special blessing just for you. Okay, so let's warm up our hands, get all that chi energy going. And from our hearts to yours, we love you,
we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you.
When we say we behold the Christ in you, that's that spark of divine energy that Jesus manifested and found in himself and demonstrated so well in his ministry. So welcome, and we're glad you're here.
You're welcome.
Well, Unity of Chattanooga is part of a worldwide network of Unity churches. The movement was founded, as most of us know, in the late 1800s by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And the Fillmores started studying Jesus' teachings in the Bible in an effort to overcome a variety of difficulties in their life, and also health challenges that they had. And through research and a personal spiritual practice and a different perspective that developed as they read those passages, different from the kind of fundamental stuff that was going on at the time. And through their practice, they got some insights that changed their lives. And what they found was so transformational that they dedicated their lives to teaching what they termed practical Christianity. And today, Unity is known as a positive path for spiritual living. We are a progressive and inclusive spiritual community, embracing the traditional teachings of Jesus as well as the modern scientific, educational, and psychological principles for a healthy and inspired lifetime. And Charles Fillmore often said, I reserve the right to change my mind. We emphasize prayer and meditation, personal study and growth, and living consciously to make a positive difference, not only in our world, but as we transform the world as well. And so with that, now is the time to say good morning to your friends and perhaps meet, greet, and welcome someone that you don't know for the very first time. So with a handshake, a fist bump, a hug, please take a few moments.
The world and all the beings in the light and the peace and love. Guarding my thoughts, I choose compassion, measuring my words. I choose encouragement, preparing my actions. I choose kindness, I am one with the Spirit of peace and love. Of peace and love. I hold the world and all the beings in the light and peace and love. Guiding my thoughts, I choose compassion, measuring my words. I choose encouragement, preparing my actions. I choose kindness, I am one with the Spirit of peace and love. Of peace and love. I hold the world and all the beings in the light of peace and love. Guarding my thoughts, I choose compassion, measuring my words. I choose encouragement, preparing my actions. I choose kindness, I am one with the Spirit of peace and love, of peace and love, of peace and love.
Great. I swear I'm going to bring a border collie. Well, our guest speaker this morning is Kelly Thompson, and Kelly certainly or currently serves on our board of trustees, and I'm sure that you've seen him around in our services and some of our special events. Well, Kelly grew up just south of here in Dalton. He started his life out as a Baptist, but during high school, he began to look around at non-denominational churches and something outside of what he grew up with. He eventually moved to Alabama and found a Methodist church there and stayed there for over 20 years. He was committed to his spiritual journey, and during that time, he served on every committee and the board at the church at one time or another. And he eventually became a lay speaker, rotating in every third Sunday of the month. And during that time, somewhere around the early 2000s, he continued his spiritual search. He was looking for something more. And when he saw the movie The Secret, how many have seen the movie? Yeah, okay. He began to question traditional theology, realizing that there was so much more to a spiritual understanding and a spiritual life. And continuing his search, he came across the material of Neville Goddard, which led him to the New Thought movement. Well, he moved back to the Dalton area, and one day he found Unity of Chattanooga online and gave us a call. And I still remember the call, and he talked with Penny for over 45 minutes and showed up at the Rad Bank Community Center the very next Sunday. And he's been an active and dedicated member of this church ever since. So please welcome Kelly Thompson.
Oh, now Kelly, wait, Kelly, wait. Take a deep breath. Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Come with me, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What you see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply turn around and view it. Anything you want to do, just do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There's no life that I know that compares with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. There's no life that I know that compares with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
No, it was actually my fault. I was the guy who screwed it up.
Oh, no, you're fine. That was just such a crazy introduction that I was a little taken aback. I was like, who is that guy he's talking about? No, I'm just kidding. I'm awesome. He's right. So, good morning. Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Good. It's a pretty good response. Let's try that again. How's everybody doing this morning? Great. There you go. Well, you look great. So, well, this morning, I'm here to talk to you guys. Can you hear me okay? Am I doing the mic right? It's been a while since I've gotten comfortable with a mic. I'd like to talk to you guys about manifestation. And I'm going to have to get my eyeballs out here because I haven't manifested new ones yet. So, just a little background. When I started my journey into New Thought metaphysics, I was kind of on my own. Like Doug said, I was very active in a Methodist church. And, I had always, in my talks, tried to be tried to kind of focus on faith and understanding and things like that that sort of lined up with the metaphysical message. And so, but when I really got into that total immersion, I was kind of on my own. And so I started looking for a lot of different material. And a lot of the stuff that I came upon were like the mid to early century mystics and metaphysicians like Florence Scovel Sheen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She was a big influence on Nate McCarthy, according to her book. People like Dr. Joseph Murphy, who studied with the same person that Neville Goddard did. People like Ernest Holmes, you know, some of those guys, the kind of the old school guys was what I stumbled on first. Neville Goddard was probably the most prominent in all those. I just kind of resonated with his message. I thought he was very interesting, had a great way of speaking. And so I kind of got into him probably more than I did anybody. Now, of course, if you've studied these people, you know that it's basically the same message, just from a little bit different angle, right? So what I'm going to talk to you about today is a little bit of Neville, probably pretty heavy on the Neville, a little bit of everybody else kind of sprinkled in, if you guys don't mind. And I guess that's how we all develop our own philosophies, right? By listening to others and taking what resonates with us. So if you're not familiar with Neville Goddard, let me give you just a little bit of background on him. He actually referred to himself as a mystic. He refers in some of his lectures as the mad mystic of 48th Street in New York, which that'd be kind of cool to be the mad mystic. That's what I want to be referred to one of these days, as the mad mystic of unity. Maybe wear a big orange top hat and a monocle when I'm doing my talks. But he lectured and he wrote, I think, 14 different books from the mid to late 30s up until like 1972, until he passed away. So he had a pretty long career, by and large. I'm sorry, I got lost in my notes here. Probably shouldn't even stick with these notes, should I? He wasn't affiliated with any church in particular. He was pretty much independent. He lectured at different lecture halls around New York and LA, and I'm sure other cities too, but those are the ones that he really focused on. He was tutored early by a Jewish mystic by the name of Abdullah, and that's the only name that he really refers to him by. And his philosophy is known as the law of assumption, which I thought was a really cool take on the law of attraction. Because to me, if I'm just sitting there listening and waiting, then, you know, I have a monkey mind. So I can't control my monkey mind, so I have to be doing something. So assuming is a lot better than sitting and waiting for it to come around to me. So, all right, so we got a little bit of background on him. You ready to get into it? Yeah. The manifestation part? Yeah. All right, let's get into it. The law of assumption comes from a quote. This is my favorite quote from Neville Goddard. An assumption, even though false, if persisted in, must harden into fact. You guys tracking with me? Let me say that again. An assumption, even though false, if persisted in, must harden into fact. That really resonated with me. That was kind of my red pill, blue pill moment. I had several of those, you know. But that really resonated with me because, you know, I did have a strong belief in faith, and you know, that just sort of sat with me. It just really kind of turned me on. You know, anything we want, we can be, do, or have anything we want in this life. Our reality is this: we are not physical people or physical beings having an occasional spiritual journey or experience. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience here in our reality. Think of it like this. Who's played video games? Oh, come on. Everybody's played a video game at some point or another, right? So, has anybody ever played a VR game, virtual reality, with the goggles? Nobody? Okay, there's a few. Well, that's a totally immersive experience. You know, it kind of cuts off all your other senses, and you're totally in that game. That's kind of the way our reality is. As spiritual beings, this is kind of our game. Except instead of toggle switches, we control it with our minds. Right? But there's a catch to all that. Now, we don't get what we want just by wanting it. We get what we believe we are. We get what we believe. Of course, you know, Scripture says that as a man believes, so is he. The Buddha says, all that we are is a result of everything we've thought. Man is made his belief as he believes, so he is. And that's from the Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, I'm not a huge Bhagavad Gita fan. Not fan, but reader. So I've just taken little snippets out of it so far. And what that means is we really have to take responsibility for the things that we don't like or the things that are unfair in our lives. And before you start throwing rotten fruit at me, let me explain that, okay? Now, there are a lot of things that come to us, right, that we don't like, that are unfair in our lives, that, you know, are hurtful, or, you know, things go south and we don't see where those things come from exactly. But we actually draw everything into our lives one way or another. And that's why we really have to train our minds into positivity, you know, thinking constantly in the positive. And what that does for us is that helps us to take back our power. If we take responsibility for the things that we manifest in our lives, then that means we can change it. That means that we have the power and we can turn it around. So, for the manifestation, we have to reprogram our minds, right? And how do we do that? A really great way to reprogram our minds into a more positive outlook, positive demeanor, are affirmations. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that affirmations don't work, and on their own, they don't. You know, if you're just affirming and affirming and affirming and affirming, then, you know, nothing's going to happen. But what that's going to do over time is that's going to reprogram your mind. And there are several ways to reprogram your mind. You know, there's, of course, meditation. There's gratitude. Gratitude is a great way to reprogram our minds. You know, and not just gratitude for the things that are good in our lives, but gratitude for the things that we're not so excited about in our lives, so that we can get a handle on that, and everything works for our good, right? Scripture said, to those who believe, everything works for your good. And if we don't know what we don't want in life, then it's hard to know what we do want, right? So reprogramming your subconscious, reprogramming your mind, is really the first step in the manifestation, so that we can keep a good, positive outlook. And it's hard. That's not an easy thing. The second step that I've got for you is visualization. Now, it's super important in manifestation that we have a very clear idea of what we want to manifest in our lives, right? So we want to be really, really clear and concise on what we want. Jesus said, without a vision, my people perish. The Buddha said, people without ambition, desire, or goals are like wandering ghosts. So the more clear we are on our vision, the better the chance that we're going to manifest exactly what we want in our lives. Say you want a new car. Okay? If you're just thinking about getting from point A to point B and you're not really focused on the kind of car that you want, you're probably going to end up with like a 72 Pinto. Right? Sweet. That smokes and, yeah, paint's peeling off the bottom there where it's rusting in front of the rear wheels, you know, all the salt and mess. I don't think there's any Pintos really left. But so if you're not focused on exactly what you want, instead of the 72 Pinto, get a clear focus. Say you want a 2024 911 Turbo S Cabriolet with tan interior and gold wheels, gold HRE wheels, and a FabTech high-performance exhaust, and upgraded ECU for higher performance, right? That may not be your goal or your vision, but there's no down for this, so that's okay. But the clear vision is imperative. That's the key. Another really important key is our feeling. Neville wrote a book called The Feeling is a Secret. And if we don't put feeling is what really, really impresses our subconscious. We got to feel it. But we can also impress the subconscious in a very negative way because we can feel it, right? God, source, universe, creator, he doesn't hear what we want. And that's why the Bible says that if you're just sitting there talking and talking and talking and talking, and, you know, the Pharisees were known for their repetitious long prayers, right? But Jesus said that that wasn't productive. It's the feeling that you put with that visualization. You want to feel it. So say you want a house, a new home. Feel the way you would feel if you walked through that door. Feel the carpet underneath your feet, or the wood, or the tile, whatever it is that you want. Feel that. Go around the house, put your hand on your countertops. Feel your furniture. Look out your windows, see the view. That's the feeling that you get in there. If you want a new car, sit down in the leather seat, put your hands on the dash, crank it up, hear it start up. We can all visualize like that, right? Anybody have a problem visualizing? I kind of did at first. Yeah, Laura? Thank you, Laura. The rest of you guys are liars. Let's do a little exercise, okay? I want everybody to close their eyes. Okay, reach out your hand. Hold your hand out. Palm up. Now, I want you to imagine that you have a baseball in your hand. I want you to feel the size of the baseball. Okay? It's a brand new baseball. It's not beat up. So I want you to feel the leather. And I want you to run your fingers over the stitches and feel the heaviness of the ball in your hand. Can you feel that? All right, now we're going to turn it into a tennis ball. All right? Feel how much lighter that ball is. Feel how it's fuzzy. Feel the stitches, well, what would be stitches, but the little rubbery stitches around it. Now smell that funky new tennis ball smell. All right? Can you smell that? All right, now turn it into a tomato. Can you feel a tomato in your hand about the same size as a tennis ball? Can you smell that tomato? Can you put your finger there where the stem used to be? That's all there is to it. That's your feeling. You can feel that, right? You know that's in your hand. So if we can establish a good, clear vision, and we can feel that vision, then your manifestations are on the way. You know, how would you feel if you had your manifestation? How would you feel, say, in a situation where, let's imagine that you won the lottery, okay? Now, this is a multi-million-dollar win. Are you bummed out? Are you going to be super excited? No, not everybody wants to win the lottery, and that's okay. But let's imagine for a second that you did. Now, you take that check to the bank, and you take it to the cashier, and the cashier goes and gets the bank manager, and he goes and gets the president, because this is such a huge check, and they sit down with you in a big group, and everybody's oohing and ahhing over the check, and they tell you, well, you know, this is such a large amount of money that it's going to take probably 36 to 48 hours for it to hit your account. Oh, no. I'm not going to get these millions? Come on, man. You're not going to feel like that. You're going to go home and you're going to think about all the things you're going to spend that money on, right? Now, if you don't have your manifestation, that's the gap you want to be in. You want to know that it's coming, right? You want to know that it's already there for you. It just hasn't manifested yet. I liked what Will Smith, the actor and the great slapper of show hosts, said one time. I was watching a interview with him, and he said they talked about his huge success as an actor, and he said, "I was always a success. Y'all just didn't know it yet." I thought that was really cool. So, well, we're going through these pretty fast. I had like 700 pages on here. I'll be done in 5 minutes. So the next step that I've got for you guys is belief. That equals faith, right? And another actor that I really like who had a pretty phenomenal spiritual awakening is Jim Carrey. And if you listen to any of his talks or anything about manifestation, he said something that really stuck with me. He said, don't hope, believe, because hope is a beggar. Don't believe in hope, believe in belief, because hope won't get you there, belief will. Hope is a good step, don't get me wrong. You go from despair to hope and then to belief, right? But don't stick with just hope. Don't stay there. Don't limit yourself. Bring yourself up to faith. Manifestation overall can be condensed into one phrase from Jesus. It said, whatever you ask in prayer, which would be visualization, right? Because visualization is a big part of prayer. Believe that you already have it, and it will be yours. Let me repeat that again. Jesus said, whatever you ask for in prayer,
Believe that you already have it, and it will be yours. I really like the whatever part. Whatever you want, whatever we believe that we have. And then again, that's a two-edged sword, because if we believe that we are limited, then we're going to be limited. If we believe that we are poor, that we're down and out, that we don't, can't manifest love or health or anything in our lives, then what we believe will be manifested in our life. So that's the next big step after getting clear, getting a feeling for it, and then getting your faith and belief in there. Buddha said, when your faith becomes stronger than your fear, then your dreams become your reality. And if, I'm sort of new to Buddha. I grew up more with Jesus, but all this really correlates. It all tracks with each other, and it's amazing how these teachers would teach in such a prolific way. And I really like a lot of stuff that the Buddha had to say. So number 5, and like I said, I'm probably a little ahead of schedule here. Number 5 is inspired action. So, how many have a problem with intuition? Everybody in touch with your intuition? Sort of, kind of. I turned off my intuition so many times, I think I broke the switch. I'm really working on trying to get that intuition, trying to listen and to hear and to be in that gap. But like I said, I've got a monkey mind. And when I sit down to manifest, if I'm not focusing on what I want to manifest, did I say manifest twice? When I sit down to meditate, if I don't focus on what I want to manifest, then my monkey mind is all over the place. I can't get it to stop. I found this really neat little trick. If you sit down and you meditate, you get really relaxed. Take a deep breath and get ready. Right? Relax your whole body and get in there. Ask yourself, what's going to be my next thought? And it blanks your whole mind. My whole mind my mind goes, what? What are you talking about? But it's really cool. It'll last for about 30 seconds for me. And then I have to do it again. But that's that training the mind, right? That's that training the subconscious. And that's the work we have to do, is to train that subconscious. Now, inspired action. That comes from our intuition, right? Now, sometimes in the manifestation process, we won't have to do anything. Sometimes it will just come to us. Sometimes we're inspired to do something that's really fun. Sometimes we're inspired to do something that's a little out of our comfort zone. We don't have to worry about how it happens. That's where we really get hung up, is on the how. Because if you're thinking about how something's going to manifest, or you're thinking about how that person's going to come into your life, or how you're going to make that money, or how you're going to get better, then you're limiting yourself, because we don't know the how. God said, my ways are higher than your ways. If we open up and just let it happen, then we'll either be inspired to take some action, to take a trip, we'll meet somebody that flips a switch, that helps us out. We'll, walk into something that is just phenomenal. So that's the inspired action part. Neville Goddard calls it the bridge of incidents, right? Which gets you from point A to point B, which is your manifestation. Now, sometimes that bridge of incidents is so explainable and happens so naturally for us that we don't see it as a miracle. We thought, well, it would have happened anyway. But and that again pulls us off track. So be careful with that. When something happens in your life and you say, oh, well, that would have happened anyway, because I knew Eric. I knew Eric could do that, and Eric just came and helped me out. But that's a miracle, because you got Eric in your life to help you with it, right? That's where the miracle is.
Miracles in you, man.
Hey, that's right. That's why I'm awesome, right? There's a couple examples I wanted to go over. We've had some really cool things happen here in our congregation here. Laura's mom, she had some serious health issues that they thought she wasn't going to bounce back from. And so in the past few weeks, we've all gotten together and we prayed and we visualized, which is prayer, right? And we've seen Laura's mom getting better. And guess what? Laura's mom came home yesterday. And now she is happy and home and feeling much, much better. And this is something that they thought that it was very serious. And she's 82. So, it's a miracle. It's awesome. Neville Goddard, I'll give you a little manifestation thing from him. I was giving you some of his background. I probably should have done this in the beginning, but of course my monkey mind is jumping around. I'm a little nervous too, so it's okay. Neville was born in 1905, I think. So at the beginning of World War II, he was in his late 30s, and he was born in Barbados. So he was an English citizen. But he lived in America, so he was drafted into the American Army, right? And he was in boot camp in Louisiana. And he didn't want to be there. For him, it was like prison. And, he wanted to fulfill his duty, but he wanted to go back to New York and be with his family more. So during the war, the Army's not going to let you go. That's just how it is. If you get drafted in, you're there for the duration, right? Almost 100% of the time. Well, he said he didn't care what anybody thought. He just wanted to go home. So one of his big manifestations, now keep in mind, this is during wartime. He was in his bunk, surrounded by all his buddies, in a big bunkhouse. He visualized that he was home in New York on his bed with his wife and his daughter. He said he got a very, very vivid picture in his mind. He felt the bed underneath him, not the army cot that he was sleeping on. I'm sure it was like a prison sentence. Not the surroundings with all the guys in there, just him in his bedroom. Of course, this was, like the 30s, so he had a separate bedroom from his wife. Kind of like this is pre-Brady Bunch, right? So he visualized that he was home in his apartment in New York. And the next day, after he did this, now this was quick. The next day after he did this, he got up, he showered, he shaved before anybody else got up, before any of the guys. I mean, you get up pretty early in the Army, right? And he was waiting. He had already been denied. He had put in a request, and his CO denied it. So he got up really early in the morning, believing that he was going to get out of the Army. And he was actually called into the CO's office early that morning. He said he had never been asked to sit. He was a prophet. Never been asked to sit in the CO's presence. So he was his commanding officer. So he asked him to come in, and he sat down. And he asked him why he wanted to get out of the army. And he told him, point blank. And he gave him every reason why he shouldn't leave the army. And he said, "You still want to?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Okay." So he goes through another barrage of convincing arguments for him. He said, "You still want to leave?" He says, "Yes, sir." He takes his paper that he had already been denied, marks through it, and gave him an honorable discharge right there on the spot. Now, there are tons and tons of these manifestation stories. We can manifest positively, like that, like Laura's situation. We can manifest negatively. I manifested recently a divorce, which in hindsight is probably a positive now. At the time it wasn't. But I can remember the very moment that I manifested it. I was sitting in my backyard on my deck. I was watching my grandkids play. I know. You guys are super, super surprised I have grandkids yet.
No way.
No way. Thank you, Eric. I knew I could count on you, buddy. So I'm watching my grandkids play, and things are going south, and I'm thinking, man, it would be awful if I couldn't sit here and watch those kids play. And I felt it right here. You know how you feel stuff in your heart? The heart is like 500 times stronger, more magnetic than your brain. That's when you got to have that feeling, right? So I felt that deep down in there. And normally we feel the negative more vividly than we feel the positive, right? And 2 weeks later, I had moved to Dalton. Now, I didn't say that to get, for anybody to feel bad about it or feel negatively about it, because I know in my spiritual walk that this is the best thing for me. And that's the way I've got to look at it, right? But it was the feeling that I had that made that manifest in such a way. Because I was in a pretty dark place at the time. And so that was my wake-up moment. That was another red pill, blue pill for me. And so what that did was that showed me how important it is for a positive mental attitude and to really understand how we manifest in our lives, because we're always manifesting. No matter what we're doing, we're manifesting the next few moments of our lives by our decisions, by our thoughts, by how we're thinking about the current situation. So we got to keep a good, positive mental attitude about how we see our lives in the next few minutes. So, okay, let's do this. Let's have a little time of prayer, meditation, if you guys don't mind. You'll sit back, get comfortable, relax. Take 3 good cleansing breaths in and out. One more. In and out. Last one. In and out. Now just feel that relaxation all through your body. Start relaxing at the crown of your head. Let it flow down to your face. Relax your jaw muscles. Relax your eyes. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back. Feel the relaxation move down to your stomach and your want you to think about something that you want to manifest in your life. Something very vivid. Get a vivid picture of it. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something small. Maybe a cup of coffee after church if that's what you want. But just see that and have that feeling. And focus on that. Just a few minutes. Cleansing breath again. And now come back to us. Did you feel it? Good. That's the work, right? So keep practicing. It doesn't happen overnight. We do have to reprogram our minds. But believe. Stay in faith. Thank you.
Good job.
Great job. Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. That's great. Now we know exactly how to manifest everything that's our heart's desire. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, this is the time in our service when we choose to give back. Gratitude and generosity are fundamental to the unity philosophy, and by practicing generosity and gratitude, we not only open doors to divine blessings, but we also nourish our own minds and our bodies. So I'd invite you now to take your checks or your wallets or your gifts in your hands, and let's bless them together with our affirmation, and we'll see if that works. No? There it is. So together, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance.
God is all that I am. I have all that I need. I am grateful. I am blessed. So it is. God is all that I am. I have all that I need. I am grateful. I am blessed. So it is.
And so we give thanks for these tithes and these blessings, so freely given from hearts filled and overflowing with abundance. And we know that they go forth not only to bless our lives, but to bless this ministry and through us, to bless our families, our loved ones, our friends, this city, and this world. And so it is.
God is all that I am. I have all that I need. I am grateful. I am blessed. So it is.
Well, Landis, I know you're on a time schedule and you got to go, so I am going to run through these announcements as fast as I can.
I got to go to Cleveland.
All right. Next Saturday, December 9th, Fader will be back with information on spirit group classes. Spirit groups have been great. And so she'll be back here next Sunday, and I encourage people to sign up for them. On Tuesday evening, December 12th at 6:30, which is a week from this coming Tuesday, Amanda, raise your hand, there she is, will hold another metaphysical discussion group in the classroom downstairs, and this time the topic will be, what is God, not who? That's going to be a good one. On Wednesday evening, December 20th at 6:30, we will have an evening of cookies, cokes, cider, and Christmas fun, and during that time we'll have a white elephant gift exchange for anyone who wants to participate in it. It'll be a great opportunity to get together with your Unity family and friends over the holidays. On Thursday, December 21st, the Unitarian Church will set up a labyrinth right here in their sanctuary between 5 and 8, and they're happy to welcome anybody who wants to come. It's a wonderful time. If you've ever walked a labyrinth, it's a wonderful experience. It's a way to quiet your mind, to calm your anxieties. And next Saturday, I will be back and run you through the just to welcome everybody into the Christmas season, and I'll be speaking for the rest of the month. So as we close our service today, please stand where you are, join hands, and let's sing this song.
There be peace on earth, begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.